What's up, YouTube? It's Ask the Young One with CreateHigherVibrations.com. Today I wanted to do a quick video and talk a little bit about self-talk. And this is a very important part of recovery, I believe, and it's a very important part to the changes that we tend to face and need to evaluate and examine within ourselves. And I see this all the time where they fall into the traps of believing what the narcissist has told them or believing what society is telling them about themselves. And in reality, this is someone else's perception of themselves that they're projecting onto you. If you're feeling these things inside of yourself, then you have to really examine where that lies within yourself and where that whether it's connected to trauma or whether it's connected to a part that needs to be healed. But we can also understand that self-talk is usually conscious mixed with unconscious beliefs about ourselves. A lot of times we're not even aware that we're actually feeling very negative about ourselves, or we're not feeling good enough about ourselves. These are all things that are created unconsciously. And if we can go in and really start becoming conscious and mindful to this self-talk, spend some time with ourselves examining our thoughts about ourselves and really taking a look at how we approach things in life. Do we approach them from an I can't do? Do we approach them from I'm just trying to get by, or I'm just trying to survive rather than thrive? You know, how's our mindset talking to ourselves? Is this something that's benefiting us in order to take ourselves to the next level? When we go through these relationships, they're, like I say it all the time, they're very traumatic, and it's very understanding to fall into a very deep, dark place. But at the same time, we are the ones and the only ones that can bring ourselves up out of those deep, dark places. And we are the only ones that can change ourselves. You know, if we go through the financial abuse, we have to figure out a way to create our future from that point on. We have to do this, and we do this by creating and examining ourselves constantly, whether it's through our self-talk or through our emotions or through our thoughts. We have to realize these are just thoughts. These are just emotions. They are not attached to the self, to ourselves. They are just creations that come through the mind. And when we are mindful to what we're talking to ourselves about and telling ourselves we're not good enough, or the narcissist is right, that I am the one that's wrong, etc., we can be mindful to this and re-examine it and consciously change how we're talking to ourselves. And over time, this creates a change within the subconscious. It creates the change within the unconscious belief that brought upon the I'm not good enough part of things. You know, it's really a portal to the unconscious mind when we can really examine why we think these things about ourselves. It really is an unconscious portal into recreating our self-concept, our self-esteem, and building our own confidence back to go back out into the world, to be strong, to trust other people, to love ourselves enough to attract love back to us through our lives. You know, the other thing I want to touch on is I see a lot of people, and I get this question all the time, is how do I avoid attracting another narcissist? How do I avoid attracting more toxic people? Well, to answer that, you have to heal yourself. For one, you have to connect to your inner child and stop functioning from this unconscious belief system, this unconscious persona that is created, because it is not your true authentic self. And when you can connect to the love and vibrate on the frequency of love that you are born with, that you are, you're a decision away from that freedom, from not meeting these people. You can have the choice and make those decisions from a much better place. But going back to that, you know, I want to point out too, when you focus on never meeting a narcissist again, or not wanting to date another narcissist, and that's your focus and that's your energy, chances are you're going to meet another narcissist, because that's what you're putting out there. You're putting out to the universe all your energy on a narcissist. So chances are you're going to meet someone that will reaffirm what is going on inside here. It's kind of like when I don't feel good enough and I'm unconscious to this I don't feel good enough feeling, I'm going to attract people that are going to confirm to me that I'm not good enough. So this is why it's so important to put in the self-work, to realize that we are already whole beings. We are already whole. There's nothing broken about us that we need to fix. We are already whole. We just have to bring it back together. We have to bring the separation back to the oneness within ourselves, to our own hearts, and start functioning from those places. It's really hard to watch, and you can see it, like, you know, and I even go through it sometimes still, and it's not necessarily about narcissists, it's just about certain belief systems that I was raised with. You know, it's not about I'm bad or I'm good, it's really just about deserving enough, you know, that the belief that I'm not deserving but other people are. So this is something that I've had to work with, but again, it's not anything to do with the narcissist, but that situation opened me up to start seeing the deeper parts of inside of myself that I have to work on or fix, or not really fix, but refine, to connect to that pure essence that I am deserving, that I do deserve prosperity and abundance and all of these things in life that other people have. And it's you know, I'm no different than the collective oneness that is in this world. And you know, and you're the same way. This is why it's so important to understand our self-talk, because it again will generate our confidence. It will start to rebuild our self-esteem. It will start to reprogram these unconscious beliefs about ourselves that are negative, that hold us back from things, that create the self-doubt that allows fear to take over, that will keep us from moving forward in life and becoming our greatest versions. And you know, it's a complicated subject, and it's complicated because a lot of people just aren't, they're like just not ready for this, and they want to stay in that zone of putting all of their energy into the past and putting it all into the victim mentality and blaming someone else. But when you're doing that, really examine how you feel. How does it really feel truly? Does it change anything when you stay in that situation? Or if you can re-examine and for a moment feel a time when you were abundant, feel a time when you were love. You know, even if you got to go back to a time before the narcissist, when you actually felt connected, and remember how that felt. You know, it's like a lot of times, you know, you can see a 5-year-old child and you can see the world is wide open to them. We were all in that position at one point. You know, our creativity, our imagination, we didn't know all of this suffering, all of this pain. We didn't have all that going on. And in time we grow and we have these experiences, and then we tend to use our belief systems that were instilled in us to either confirm or overthink or create further separation from ourselves. You know, when we were 5, we were full of joy, our eyes were lit up, and as we become adults, it just kind of like is and we go through these experiences and that joy is gone. Well, this is where we go through these relationships, and if we can just for 1 minute commit to ourselves and create the commitment of self-growth for ourselves to reconnect to that joy, we can find that joy factor again. We can find those things again, and then we can create life from those positions again. So I wanted to make this video and encourage people to really start becoming aware of their self-talk, and really become aware that these are unconscious beliefs that really came from a perception of someone else in our lives, usually in our younger times. Um, Childhood trauma is going to be probably the number one thing that will create a big change in our lives when we go in and start healing these things, and we go in and start wiping out these self-perceptions that create this self-negative talk, and stop believing all of these things outside of ourselves, and realizing that these things outside of ourselves do not create the self. Thyself knows better. It's just thyself is blocked and hidden and needs to be recognized and brought back out. And through this healing and recognizing our own trauma and recognizing our own self-sabotaging, we can change so many things. And I understand that the process of going through these relationships, I absolutely understand that. Like I said, this stuff may not be for everybody. They may not be at that point yet, but at some point they will be. And therefore, hopefully they'll come back to this video or someone else's video that talks about creating your best version and living your life. You know, this is very important to me, because life is precious, it's beautiful, and it doesn't need to be lived in a suffering, painful way. And the journey is literally bringing the unconscious to the conscious, and realizing that we can free ourselves, and we can liberate ourselves, and we can live the life that we absolutely want to live, in love and in happiness and in joy. We don't have to lay in this suffering. So I wanted to express that, and I hope, again, I hope it relates to somebody. I hope somebody gets it and really commits. Like, I challenge on this video to commit to yourself, commit to who you are, commit to living your most authentic life through your own self-love, and you will attract those people back to you. You know, commit to not putting your energy into negative thoughts, negative self-talk, putting your energy into what you don't want. Put your energy into what you do want in life, and I guarantee you things will start to change. Better feelings, better how you respond to emotions. You know, I talk a lot about self-responsibility. Well, self-responsibility comes with the ability to respond to life and how we do this. It's going to make a big difference in how we handle our pains, our traumas. You know, we talk about addiction, which will be another video coming up probably that I'll do, about trauma bond and the addictions. Well, the addictions start with trauma. You know, so we can say people create these problems for us, but at the end of the day, we have to be the ones to get to the root cause as to why we fell into the addiction trap. So that'll be another video. But again, I hope this video helps somebody. And again, if anybody wants to do one-on-one coaching, or pretty soon I should be advertising or putting out for some one-on or group coaching for inner child work. Again, you can email me, or you can go to my website. I'll put all that in the description. And I look forward to working with anybody. And you know, my biggest fulfillment in life is watching the aha moment of someone that gets it and comes to a realization from deep in their heart, and they really realize, and how their eyes just open up from limited to, oh my God, I'm unlimited into what I can be and do in this life. So I wanted to share this video and share these thoughts and encourage anyone to examine themselves. You know, the Socrates always says, one of the living life, when you live life, living the unexamined life is not living at all. You know, there's so much more to all these external things that are happening. And for us to change things, we have to start here. And it's possible. And these relationships are literally a gateway portal into your dark side, into your unconsciousness, to show you how to bring yourself out of these things. And again, I hope this helps. And I will go for now. And again, anybody that wants to work with me on going deeper within themselves and healing, then please give me an email, go to the website, whatever it takes, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it takes. So hopefully this helps somebody, and I hope you have a great evening. Namaste.